how easy was it to raise investment? Obviously, the first one you weren't expected. Oh, I mean, that's how I perceive it, but maybe I'm wrong. And then after that, did you have to go pretty hard on pitching your idea to 100 people, and you only had one investing, or how did that go?
Yeah, I mean, it's been tremendous amount of work, for sure, for at least 2 or 3 of us, maybe 4 of us in the company. It's been a good percentage of what we do is fundraising and relations with investors and so on. So yeah, it's been a lot of work. It has gone well, ultimately so far, but yeah, takes a lot of work. But we've been very fortunate to work with fantastic investors. I had not worked with investors before. I was just a acoustics nerd before starting Treble. But I have been very pleasantly surprised, or not surprised, just pleasantly discovered that, investors, at least the ones we've been working with, they're just people who are really enthusiastic about new technology and innovation and supporting new businesses and contributing to the world. So it's been fantastic collaboration.
I'll insist on this on that question, because there's a lot of perception that it's really easy to get a startup up and running or get a business up and running. And you say a lot of work, and yes, I agree, there's a lot of work. But to get your first clients or first investors, you probably need to see hundreds or even more to speak to them, and you get so much rejection because nobody believes in your idea. Or for consultants, everybody already knows an acoustic consultant. So you've got to go and see, I'd say even 200 people, and there's probably 1% of people who will reply to you, and 0.5 or less than this, maybe 10% of those 1% who will just be open to introduce you, not just give you a project. So, it's really hard, and I don't want to take that lightly. And I know, and I presume that it's been the same for you. So yeah, can you describe a bit more your process of getting investment, where you went, how your pace, the pace at which you were going to?
Yes. Maybe first a general comment to what you're saying is I completely agree, and it's grueling work to build a startup, and like you say, many no's that you get along the way, which can be discouraging in the moment, but also helpful. And I think what's his name, Reid Hoffman, one of these kind of startup legends from Silicon Valley, who wrote a book called Masters of Scale, which is the sort of the central theme of the book, or at least one of the themes, is to kind of use the no's. You get the no's, and they are super important because they help you hone your vision, they help you improve, and they're just an absolutely crucial part of the journey. So you shouldn't feel too discouraged about the no's that you get along the way. They're necessary. Likewise, when we face technological challenges, like this isn't working, shit, then I've started to view that positively now, because that means that we can innovate and do something new and solve a problem that's not been solved before. So it's actually good to find challenges and hiccups, because that means we can, kind of develop a further competitive edge compared to what's been out there before. So, completely agree with this. And, I would say for me personally, for every one thought of like, damn, it's going well, and we got this, it's gonna be, and then there are probably 300 thoughts of like, this is not going well enough, or oh my god, this customer is unhappy, or oh my god, this time plan didn't work out, or so it's just it's intense. And then to answer your question specifically about the funding, in the first round we were just trying everyone, maybe more sort of locally here in Iceland, but still also trying abroad. Had a lot of discussions, which ended up people not investing, but as I was kind of alluding to earlier, they were still very helpful discussions. People were giving us good feedback and so on, and that was crucial along the way until we ultimately found someone who was interested in investing, and this first round was more or less led by two sort of entities that invested in Treble and have been very helpful. And then likewise in the second round, lots of pitching, and some people get it, others don't. Some people get it, but still don't want to invest. Maybe it doesn't fit their field or their types of investment. They prefer investing in other types of businesses or whatever. It's totally fine, So you can't please everyone, and that's how it should be. And then you just kind of hack at it until you have something.
Yeah. Sounds familiar.
Yeah, right. I think someone said, the main difference between a successful entrepreneur and a not successful entrepreneur, I'm paraphrasing, but it's just like this persistence, you kind of just don't give up.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes you have to be very crazy, just contact so many people and just keep going.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not funny when it happens to you, and when you get those refusals. But thinking again about it, it's like, oh, it's so funny. I'm glad that we went through. Oh, we got through.
Yeah, I'm sure you've had your journey as well, with lots of ups and downs and challenges along the way.
Oh yeah. The first year was really hard. But then from the end of the first year, I knew it was gonna work out.
Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, it took a while. It was during the COVID, so lockdown, and everything had to be remote. So you had to think differently, and that's probably all the online marketing that you did as well. Paid massively, and if COVID hadn't been there, I would have never thought about doing a blog or even a podcast.
Right.
So yeah. But, and I guess that's our strengths now.
Right. Yeah, it's something you've done really well, Marc. To get yourself out there and just to get the acoustics out there as well. So I appreciate that.
Cheers. I take the compliment. I was going to ask you to do a sales pitch. What sort of sales pitch do you usually do? Because I guess you've more than rehearsed. So, what do you say when you approach a potential investor? Say I'm an investor. What do you?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's about convincing them it's a good business case to invest in Treble. Of course, people care about other things too, like having a positive impact and so on. And we argue that, certainly a better sounding world is positive for everyone. And that's a nice thing. But at the end of the day, it has to make sense from a business perspective, which means that people have to, earn on their investment and get their money back and something more. So you need to do everything you can to illustrate that that's the case. Of course, people realize that investing in a startup is a risky thing, and you don't allocate your grandmother's life savings for startup investments. It's more other types of investments, and the typical venture capital thesis is that you invest in 10 companies, 7 fail, 2 kind of become okay businesses, and then 1 really becomes big and makes the money back for all of the others. And at least sort of the American Silicon Valley model. Maybe in Europe it's a bit more down to earth, but still, yeah.
People say it's about the people behind the companies and not just the idea, because you could have an average idea, but if you've got people to drive that idea, you can really succeed. And that's why you've got serial entrepreneurs because they know the tricks and they know how to do it, or they can still fail though.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the idea is only a part of the puzzle, a piece of the puzzle.